John Tacon, play the drums and samples, and I sing backup vocals.
I think you're co-lead, bro. Well, my name's Brandon Azraf, and I'm like the other half of Brick+Mortar. Sing lead, co-lead sometimes, kind of sing together. And yeah, we make beats, run around on stage, play guitar sometimes, a little bass.
Like a ghost, let your feet off the ground.
I grew up in like
drummer
playing in bands and like playing heavy music and stuff. And I met Brandon like back in middle school. I got out of the band I was in, wanted to start a band with Brandon because he was my friend, but he didn't play anything. So I was like, dude, you should just play the bass.
Yeah,
so,
he literally just told me to play the bass.
I think I'm gonna make it anyway.
We didn't know how to write songs or anything. He just said, play the bass. I didn't have an identity. He was very weird. Didn't even talk to people. Very odd person. And I just played all day, every day. So I went to this coffee house, played a show, and then we ended up being an instrumental band. One day I was like, listen, we need to write songs, so let's just try to do it. We just made an EP. We pretty much faked it. We were like, well, I think I could sing. I'm gonna write some vocal parts the same way as I write instrumental bass parts. And we just wrote the songs the same way as we did the instrumentals.
Use it now, please come back around.
So our first record was us kind of experimenting to see if we could do it, and then we were surprised because people were like, I really loved your voice, it was good. And a couple people loved it, so that's what brings us here. So we were the band that shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Don't care, I think I'm gonna make it anyway. I know.
When I started writing songs, I was in a bubble. I just kind of shut myself off and just figured out what I was gonna do. So I didn't know like, okay, like we could use like a guitar riff here, or we could use this there. I just kind of made the sounds. I knew music theory because I took lessons, so I knew how to play the bass in the real way, but all the other things I kind of just put together, and I was like, well, this sounds like it's done to me. And then people were like, oh, your style, so it does this genre bending. I was like, I don't get what you're saying, because I just kind of put together these ideas to form something that felt like a song, because we just kind of didn't know what we were doing, but we were talented enough, I guess, to make songs that people related to.
I think I'm gonna make it today.
People find comfort in knowing what they're listening to, so they can explain to other people, like, oh, I like this new indie rock kind of electro band or whatever, you know?
Walk like a ghost, that's your feet.
Try to get side by side and basically jump away from our instruments as much as possible and like into the crowd. We kind of use the samples that we put in there and the spots we have to do, kind of break that fourth wall if you want to get artistic about it and get the crowd involved.
Yes, the style that we adopted from doing these samples allows me a lot of free time to get it from the drum set, like stand on my stool and like get the crowd into it. And it's fun, you know. It's a fun way of unorthodox way of making music.
So you're like, how the fuck are they doing that? We're just winded after it. That's all. Just running around, and we're pretty lazy in our normal lives. So I feel like when we're on stage, we just really try to run.
That's where we exercise.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna make it today.
The song is just something that, like, I was working these terrible jobs. I still work terrible jobs, but I was working these particularly terrible jobs. I almost made this like mantra in my head. If I just kept singing this chorus over and over again, it would work. I know I'm never gonna make it anyway. I think I'm gonna make it anyway. Just from that one stupid line, and I'm working at Lawn Doctor, like fertilizing your lawns. And literally it developed into something that like was just for me. And then I kind of decided to put it to song, because when I first did it, I was like, this is too simple, blah, blah, blah. And then I made it into a song, and I was like, well, you know what? This is like really relatable material. And then I kind of just, from that one line that I used to sing to myself at work, I just wrote an entire song. It just was one of those things where it like felt written already. And even like the guitar parts that I did and everything were pretty much the first shot.
But really, I just don't care. I think I'm gonna make it anyway.
I live on Bangs in Asbury Park, and right across the tracks is very ghetto. Asbury Park and that area has a history of just never getting a fair shake and constantly trying to rebuild itself, but never getting to go there, but people just keep trying. If that's how I felt personally, and I lived there for about 2 years at that point anyway, so I was like, fuck it, right? I could do that, right? I'm not Bruce Springsteen or whatever, but he didn't really live there anyway. He lives in like Bradley Beach.
Use it now. please come back around.
But he did buy popcorn off of you, though.
He did, yeah. Bruce Springsteen did come into my work and buy popcorn off me. Like 2 weeks ago, label guy, he bought popcorn from me, and I was like,
Yeah, Brandon.
I got a record deal, and he was like, that's a big step, and I was like, apparently not. I'm still serving you popcorn.
I just can't say. I think I'm gonna say him anyway. I know.
Our friends wrote and directed that video that we grew up with. They all ended up moving to Philadelphia, most of them, and basically getting into the world of film. And they approached us and they said, listen, we like the song that you're putting out, you know. We really want to do this music video, but it's going to be super violent, and we think it would fit because my background's all weird and my dad's this criminal guy. So it all just seemed to be like, oh, I could play this. Like, I won't feel weird playing this.
So why you got afraid about it?
We shot the video, and it was just a really, really epic, huge production, and we just lucked out because they wanted to do this video, but they were waiting for the perfect opportunity to like really make this idea come to life. And we just happened to luck out because they were our friends, and we got to hook our friends up. It was just really a cool moment where like we did good enough as a band writing this great song, and they were even beyond us as a production company, and they had all this stuff at their disposal. So we got to make this really great video that otherwise, if the stars didn't align that way, we would have never been able to make it.
Love needs you, ready or not.
Yeah, it was a really refreshing experience just for these people to take their time out and really put their 110% into what we made as, like, Brandon and I as the band. And for them to give that much of a shit about it really, like, hit home and really meant a lot, you know.
And it's ultra violent, and it's really just a commentary on everything. Basically that our society kind of like loves, kind of a thing, like extremism, kind of like a grindhouse experience. Like, really, unless you're a huge band, you're not going to get to make a video that, like, is probably only going to be online.
I think I'm gonna make it today.
We're just excited that this EP is out because it's a culmination of a lot of hard work over the past, like, 7 months that Brandon and I have been doing. And
Nah, it was easy.
now we have the opportunity to go on these long tours to really force this EP down people's throats.
That's a really good...
Because
That's a really good way to think about it, bro. Let me just redo this. Rewind.
Edit that.
Basically, the rest of the year, we have a tour plan, and we're going to finish the record, plan to put a record out, plan to release this new music video, maybe 1 or 2 more, a couple lyric videos, and really just, I don't know, see where it goes, see where we end up, you know, and then start working on the next thing we're going to record.
I'm John.
I'm Brandon. We're Brick+Mortar. Look for us on Last.fm.